Hey everyone, it's Nathan again. Welcome to the Shift Report. And today we have a special edition. We're going to take you behind the scenes on a quick little tour of the Bend County EMS Education Annex, located in the Santa Plantation area of Bend County. We're also going to take a look at their new Ambus, which they received about 2 to 4 months ago and have already been utilizing it quite heavily throughout the region. It's proven to be a real asset to our community. So with that, let's go ahead and check out this tour.
So hello and welcome to Bend County EMS. This is our CNA Annex in Missouri City, and today is our open house for EMS week. So we're going to take you around on a quick tour of the building and show you what our capabilities are here in Siena. So for EMS week, we've established several tables here. This is our patient account services. Patient account services entails our EMS billing. So all of our billing that takes place when a patient is transported is handled in-house. We also have our specialty teams, our special ops team, our bike medic team is here with our bikes on display as well as the equipment that they carry. We have our tactical medic team is here, and this is Pathy. That was Chris that ran out of a frame, but this is Pathy, one of our tactical paramedics, and all the equipment that they carry on a regular basis. We've also, we have Fort Bend Helping Heroes Charity here with us, and this is Alan and his wife, Deanna, and how you doing? They're here to help raise money for first responders in Fort Bend County, both police, fire, and EMS. So let's take a walk down to the training division. So the CNA Annex building was an old HCC campus that Fort Bend County was able to purchase when HCC went to build a new facility. As you can see here, when we started with our blueprints, we were able to capture the entire second floor, and we've broken up the second floor into 3 divisions. So our patient account services, the EMS billing, has a segment. We also have our training division, as well as our stations for Medic 5, Medic 12, and Battalion 2 are all here in the other end of the building. So as we start walking through the training division itself, we're also going to take a quick stop into our fitness room, which is available to our employees 24/7, 365. Our staff are able to use this facility anytime. It's key carded for protection, obviously. Any county employee can get into the gym, but only Fort Bend County EMS employees can actually get into the rest of the building. So they have elliptical machines, they've got spin bikes and so forth. We're definitely pushing cardio. They can also do weights with a universal machine. We've got clubhouse style lockers and shower facilities and so forth for all of our staff. So this is part of our training division. Our clinical lieutenants or training lieutenants, they have their offices set up, and then we have 4 classrooms. The first classroom that we're entering now is set up for EMS week. So we want the public to come in and practice some hands-only CPR, and we've got CPR feedback that's going to be displayed for them on their on the screen there. And then we've got the table set up with a lot of our EMS equipment. So this classroom is a multi-function classroom. Typically, it's going to have tables and chairs in it for lecture type format, but we can configure it for hands-on as well. This room is our simulation lab. This room is going to be set up depending on the class and depending on the type of student that's coming through. It's going to be configured to allow us to make a different scene. For instance, as an example, a bedroom scene versus an occupational type scene that you see here that we've laid out for our open house. We've got furniture and things like that we're moving in, so that way it's more realistic. Throughout the room, there's cameras, both on the walls as well as in the ceiling. We have microphones as well as speakers, and there is not an instructor that's going to be present in the room when the scenario is going on. We want the paramedics, when they're practicing and running these scenarios, to treat it as live as possible. So the mannequins are wireless, and they're driven from a command center. That's where the training lieutenants are going to be giving them absolute real-time feedback, but there's not an instructor to look up to for answers. You have to assess your patient, you have to take the vital signs, and that's where you're going to get all your information. This is our new simulation mannequin, Apollo. Apollo is obviously one of the next generation wireless models, and he's going to talk to you. He's blinking his eyes. Apollo can have a seizure. He can cry and bleed from his ears or his nose. When you perform skills, you're getting real-time feedback as far as IV flash. He can be IO'd. There's chest decompression. We can administer fluids and so forth. Actually take vital signs, and what you take and what you receive from the vital signs is real time and accurate. You're not going to take a blood pressure and get 90/40 when in all intents and purposes our intended blood pressure is 140/80. You're going to get 140/80. It's that exact. Once the paramedics get done training, running the scenario here, they're going to load the patient into our ambulance simulator, and then they're going to transport to the hospital. So depending on our scenario, however far away they are from the closest facility, they may be in the back of the ambulance for 5 minutes or 15 minutes. It is also being audio and visually recorded. So there's cameras up in the wall. So we're actually watching what's going to go on in the back of the ambulance. Everything that's recorded is available to our staff. So our clinical lieutenants that are in the command center running this scenario are annotating what's going on, how long it took to start the IV, how long it took to do the 12 lead, when was the first medication administered. So at the end of the scenario, all that's provided back to our field staff where they can go back and watch their scenario again and learn from that, learn from mistakes, and also look at the positives, the things that they did very well. We can send that out through our online training, Target Solutions, so they can go back even on shift and rewatch that scenario over and over again, so we can pick up on those fine points that we want to correct or improve upon. Okay, so here we have Lieutenant Williams and Alan Birkenhoff, our data specialist and data analyst, excuse me, and they're actually running the cameras that are in our simulation lab. So this is basically a mock-up of what the command center would look like. So they're operating what's going on both in the mannequin as well as the cameras. So as a provider goes in and starts an assessment, one can be annotating an event. An IV was started, a 12 lead was performed, a medication was administered, et cetera. And then they're going to control how the patient reacts to those interventions. And again, there's a wide range of screens that they can view. We have a computer lab that we keep set up with laptop computers. So we typically assign our staff homework, if you will, prior to a class. They'll do an online module. They'll come in, they'll do the psychomotor, the hands-on, and then they'll come in here for testing. So the computer lab stays up all the time. So this is the clinical or training storage room. All of our expired equipment and medications and so forth from the field comes to clinical, and then it's used in each of our scenarios. So this is where everything is stored from. We can use all this medication. So this is Fort Bend County's Ambus. This is the 14th Ambus in the state Ambus project. It's been in service now for about 2.5, almost 3 months now. And it's already been on the state deployments as well as local events. The vehicle is capable of transporting between 22 and 25 stretchered patients. This is the new beta version, if you will, of what future Ambuses in Texas will look like. The original Ambus manufacturer is no longer in service, or no longer in business rather. So this style, almost like a Type 1 ambulance, if you will, is the future. And as you can tell, once we get in the back, it's a big improvement compared to the old versions.